Behind the dazzling glow of 1960s masculinity icons lies a fierce race against time, a place where medical secrets are kept as tightly guarded as Hollywood's most confidential files. Today, I'll take you through historical data to decode the system behind the legendary appearances of the 10 most powerful gentlemen of the 20th century. Before we dive into these secret files, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel to support the upcoming investigative content, and leave a comment about the character that surprised you the most. Let's get started. Gary Cooper entered the 1960s as one of the biggest masculinity icons Hollywood had ever produced. However, in his late 50s, the deepening wrinkles began to pose a barrier to the suave roles that had defined his career. The harsh studio lights no longer favored the face of the cowboy, as they once did, forcing him to face a pivotal decision: either accept stepping back or find a way to freeze time to maintain his glory. The investigation into Cooper's appearance led to a secret trip to London around 1958. Instead of choosing clinics in the U.S., where the press was always lurking, he opted for a private hospital in England to undergo a facelift. Analysts believe this was a strategic move to avoid the scrutiny of his home country. The recovery took place quietly, and when he returned, the world saw a Gary Cooper with unusually smooth skin, an extraordinary effort to extend his career for a few more brief years. The traces of surgery are evident in The Naked Edge. Although his face appeared youthful, the lack of natural expression was the price Cooper had to pay to fight against being sidelined in Hollywood. He passed away in 1961, leaving behind a legacy of a hero who strove to maintain a flawless image until the very end. What do you think about this trade-off to keep the audience engaged? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support us. Dean Martin, a key member of the Rat Pack, always appeared with an unmistakable sense of confidence and rugged charm. However, few know that this confidence once had a major flaw during his early days in the entertainment industry. As a young singer performing in nightclubs, Martin always felt his nose was somewhat too large and coarse, failing to fit the heartthrob image he was aiming for. For someone who valued perfection like Martin, this was a problem that required an immediate solution. The solution was a subtle rhinoplasty. Unlike more obvious procedures, Martin's doctor performed the refinements with extreme skill to avoid losing his facial character, yet made his overall appearance significantly more elegant under the stage lights. By the 1960s, as he dominated television screens, his look had reached its peak, making that refined nose an integral part of the suave and powerful Dean Martin brand. Dean Martin's story is a classic example of using plastic surgery as a personal branding tool. He never publicly admitted to it, but the change gave him more confidence for close-up shots, which were crucial for a television star. To this day, the image of Dean Martin, with a glass in hand and a perfectly balanced face, remains a symbol of 20th-century male elegance, a beauty enhanced by clever medical intervention. In 1956, a catastrophic car accident completely altered the life and face of Montgomery Clift, once dubbed the most beautiful man in Hollywood. The impact was so severe that it shattered his facial bone structure, forcing doctors to perform a series of complex reconstructive surgeries spanning several years. Entering the 1960s, audiences no longer saw the boyish, radiant Clift from the From Here to Eternity era. Instead, they were met with a completely different appearance, sharp, angular, and haunted by melancholy. Medical experts at the time had to make extraordinary efforts to piece together the fragments of his face from the jaw area to the eye sockets. This process was not merely cosmetic surgery, but a major overhaul for survival. However, the consequence was that Clift's face became rigid and his muscle groups were no longer as flexible as before, creating a somewhat gaunt appearance. This physical transformation inadvertently pushed his career in a new direction, where he took on complex internal roles that reflected the very physical and mental pain he endured. Montgomery Clift's career in the 60s was a struggle between an artist's soul and a damaged body. Although medicine reconstructed his face, Clift could never regain his former confidence. He passed away in 1966, leaving behind a haunting lesson: surgery is sometimes not about seeking perfection, but about picking up the pieces after a cruel twist of fate. In your opinion, can a new appearance truly heal the wounds of the soul? Don't forget to like, share, and leave a sub to support us. Burt Lancaster was famous for the muscular physique of an acrobat and a strong, square-jawed face. However, he was one of the few male stars of the 60s who was exceptionally open about maintaining his appearance through medical means. Lancaster understood that in the film industry, looks are a depreciating asset, and he chose to systematically maintain them to extend his career longevity in the face of younger generations of actors. Hollywood behind-the-scenes sources revealed that Lancaster underwent multiple eye lifts and injections of supportive compounds to keep his face looking fresh. He approached this with the same discipline as his fitness training, regularly and strategically. Throughout the 1960s, while starring in classics like The Leopard or The Professionals, his skin maintained an incredible firmness for a man in his 50s, helping him sustain his A-list star status for a long period. Burt Lancaster's persistence set a new precedent in Hollywood regarding male grooming and beauty care. Instead of viewing it as a weakness, he turned it into a component of professional work ethic. As a result, he enjoyed a resilient career spanning several decades, proving that the combination of a healthy lifestyle and timely aesthetic intervention can help a man maintain his peak form even as he enters his later years. John Wayne, the icon of toughness and American heroism, seemed like the last person the public would ever associate with plastic surgery. Yet behind that rugged exterior lay the harsh reality of aging. By the late 60s, sagging skin and heavy eye bags began to diminish the power in the Duke's gaze. To maintain his image as a hero who never falters, Wayne decided to undergo an eyelid lift in 1969. This surgery was performed discreetly, but yielded immediate results, helping his eyes look sharper and more powerful on camera. Additionally, Wayne combined this with the use of meticulously handcrafted hairpieces to conceal his thinning hair. An analysis of his visual branding during this period reveals a comprehensive yet incredibly subtle refurbishment, allowing him to continue taking on demanding action roles without making the audience feel he had grown too old. John Wayne's decision shows that even the most powerful icons feel the pressure of time. He didn't undergo surgery to change himself, but to maintain the heroic mask for millions of viewers. Thanks to this adaptation, he held his title as the King of the Box Office until the end of his life. Do you think maintaining a perfect image is a star's responsibility to their fans? Comment your thoughts below and don't forget to like, share, and leave a sub to support us. Frank Sinatra was not only a vocal genius, but also an image strategist. During the 1960s, when his Las Vegas performances became the focal point of his career, Sinatra noticed that intense stage lighting often exposed imperfections in the neck and jaw area. For a man as obsessed with perfection as Sinatra, appearing with sagging skin was unacceptable. He needed a sharp look to match his status as a leader. Reports from insiders at the time indicated that Sinatra underwent surgery to tighten the jaw and neck area, jowl surgery, to create a sharper jawline. This move not only made him look decades younger, but also added to his authoritative and elegant aura when wearing expensive suits. An analysis of his performance style during this period shows absolute confidence, where every angle of his face was calculated to appear flawless under television and camera lenses. Sinatra's aesthetic journey was part of a campaign to build an entertainment empire in his own name. He viewed refining his appearance as being just as important as arranging a piece of music. Everything had to be harmonious and reach the pinnacle of elegance. Although he kept his medical procedures private, Sinatra's dashing appearance throughout the 1960s became a benchmark for men, further cementing the legend of a man who was always in control of the game. Tony Curtis was born with a burning ambition to change his life, and he quickly realized that in Hollywood, one's face is their most valuable asset. To transform from an unknown young actor into a leading star, Curtis underwent a strategic rhinoplasty at the very start of his career. He wanted a high, straight, and elegant nose to shine in romantic films where close-up shots are always the harshest test of one's beauty. By the 1960s, this investment yielded brilliant results as he became one of the most sought-after actors in the world. Curtis's sculpted, handsome face in works like Some Like It Hot turned him into a glamorous icon for an entire generation. An analysis of his facial structure reveals a perfect balance, the result of clever medical intervention designed to enhance his natural features, creating a pretty boy image that was nearly impossible to replace. Tony Curtis never denied the importance of appearance to his success. He viewed plastic surgery as an inevitable step in his journey to the pinnacle of his career. The small change to his nose opened major doors at the biggest studios, helping him escape his impoverished roots to become a cinematic legend. His story is a testament to understanding the rules of the Hollywood game and the willingness to change to achieve the ultimate goal. Clark Gable, the King of Hollywood, was always known for his masculine looks and his signature protruding ears. However, as he entered the twilight of his career in the early 1960s, Gable began to place more emphasis on the refinement and power of his image. He felt that his somewhat mischievous, protruding ears no longer suited the aristocratic and mature roles he was aiming for, forcing him to seek a medical solution to refine his appearance. There is evidence suggesting that Gable underwent an otoplasty to make his ears appear neater and sit closer to his head. Although this adjustment was minor, it significantly altered his overall facial structure, helping him look more mature and dignified in his final films, like The Misfits. A comparative visual analysis between his peak years and the end of his career reveals a clear shift in style where every detail of his physical appearance was optimized to maintain his king status. Despite being an absolute secret, the refinement of his ears demonstrated Clark Gable's perfectionism. He wasn't just enhancing his looks, he was striving to perfect a cultural icon built over a lifetime. Because of this, the king of the silver screen passed away with a most dignified and exemplary appearance in the hearts of the public. In your opinion, was this perfectionism driven by an artistic ego or by respect for the audience? Leave a comment below, and don't forget to hit like, share, and leave a sub to support us. Rock Hudson was the quintessential matinee idol of the 1960s, a man who was perfect in every way from his height and smile to his facial features. However, that perfection was a massive burden placed upon his shoulders by the studios. Hudson reportedly underwent several rounds of rhinoplasty and the most intensive skin treatments of the era to ensure that not a single flaw appeared in public, maintaining his image as the dream man of every American woman. The pressure to maintain a youthful appearance pushed Hudson into a spiral of anxiety. This was clearly reflected in his role in the film Seconds 1966, a work about using plastic surgery to completely change one's life. Analysts believe this film was a bitter reflection of Hudson's reality, where he had to live behind a mask created by medical science and the strict control of major Hollywood studios. Rock Hudson's story is a dark chapter in the history of male plastic surgery. For him, undergoing cosmetic procedures was no longer a personal choice, but a mandatory professional requirement to maintain his commercial value. His brilliant career in the 60s was the result of a silent sacrifice, where his true self was gradually overshadowed by an icon of beauty meticulously sculpted by the hands of top plastic surgeons. Cary Grant was often praised as the ageless man, a legend who maintained peak performance seemingly without any intervention. However, the truth is that Grant was extremely knowledgeable about plastic surgery and used it as a highly sophisticated support tool. He underwent surgery to remove a small lump on his forehead and subtly refined his nose area to ensure his face remained smooth and elegant under all lighting angles, creating what people call a timeless beauty. Cary Grant's secret lay in his philosophy of minimalism. He never overused aesthetics to change his facial structure or make himself look like someone else. Instead, he only made micro-adjustments just enough to remove signs of fatigue while still retaining the essence of an elegant gentleman. An analysis of his visual branding in the 60s shows incredible stability, a testament to using medical science to honor aging gracefully rather than resisting it in an extreme way. Cary Grant passed away, leaving a new benchmark for male grooming style intervene in such a way that no one can notice. He proved that the pinnacle of plastic surgery is absolute naturalness. To this day, he is still considered the most ideal model of how to maintain charm over decades without losing personal identity, turning medical science into a silent companion on the journey to conquering the hearts of the audience. Looking back at these profiles, we see that legendary beauty does not merely come from genetics, but is also the result of iron discipline and an incredible adaptation to the Hollywood machine. For these gentlemen, medical intervention was not vanity, but a part of the contract with fame, where they accepted a trade-off to maintain an ageless icon in the hearts of the audience. That is the price of the limelight, a silent sacrifice in exchange for eternal immortality on the silver screen. Has the journey of decoding these ageless faces changed your perspective on 20th century cinematic icons? Share your views in the comments below. I'm eager to know whether you support natural beauty or perfection sculpted by human hands. If this investigative information has given you a new perspective, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to join me in continuing to uncover the hidden secrets behind the screen. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next Analytical Profiles.